share this out first. I'm not want to do that. What is this? Okay, where is share? Okay, good. Found it. Go to X. Come on. Okay, we're back. Okay, one more. One more, guys. Copy. All right. I'm back. Okay, so here's the deal. This morning, reported all over Hollywood. Hey, Cross. Good. All right. Well, gotta start somewhere, right, Cross? How you doing, man? So woke up this morning, let the dog out, saw a bird take off from one of the back sides of our trees. It was like from the other side. I was over here. He was over there. Came out. I thought for a minute he was either a crow or a. Then I thought a raven because he was soaring. And then, okay, cool. I saw the white belly. You know, they've got the it's obviously a bird of prey, big red-tailed hawk, beautiful bird, and he is of course being assaulted by a blackbird or something like that. Pretty funny to see, but blackbirds do not like them, and it's pretty. The bird wars are very funny. So that was good. That was good omen for this morning. And the guy came in after letting the dog out, made myself a cup of coffee, and opened up my phone, and lo and behold, James Gorman, the now former CEO of Merrill Lynch, is going to be chairman of the board of the Walt Disney Company starting January 1st or 2nd. Mark Parker, the former CEO or chairman of the board of Nike, will be leaving that. He put in his paperwork and said, I'm out, tapping out, tapping out. So, okay, that's good. In fact, that's really, really good because there's some movement going. Now, a while back when Gorman came on board to the Disney Board of Directors, he was tasked with being the head to look for the new chairman to replace Bob Iger. It was all over I did a video, and that was all over the Hollywood Rex. And he said he was looking outside Disney. So when I started seeing Matt Bellany and all the, Deadline and the rest chattering up Dana Walden, I kind of cringed. And I thought, wait a minute, that's not what we were told. And really, I look at the people coming that are being mentioned, Dana Walden, Josh D'Amaro, Pitaro from ESPN. I'm not really impressed with any of them. Dana Walden, first off, is very close to Kamala Harris. I don't like that because people like that cannot help themselves in shoving their politics in our faces. And as Americans, we don't need that. We don't want it. We don't need it. Okay. It just doesn't set a good precedent, I think. So there's that. Josh D'Amaro hasn't done a whole lot for the parks. People that are doing park TV shows or YouTube channels aren't really very impressed with him. Okay, so I don't see someone as serious as Josh D'Amaro really, or as serious as James Gorman taking Josh D'Amaro or Dana Walden seriously. I mean, I could see Iger going, yeah, they'll do a great job. Okay. Don't think so, but fine. The only one I can see that's an insider at Disney that might be okay is Alan Bergman. He does movies. He's Iger's right-hand man for the movies. Um, and while Disney, the last year or two, haven't done well, they've done well with Inside Out 2 and uh, whatchamacallit, Hi Mike, and Deadpool and Wolverine. Don't get me started on why I don't like Marvel. Um, I don't care about either character, but I guess even people of my cynicism towards Marvel are like, yeah, it was okay. It was okay, it was fine. So there you go. Um, so we've got all that going on. And what does it mean going forward? Well, early 2026, I think, is when we're going to get the name of the new CEO at Disney. So to me, it looks like the insiders talking about Walden and Damaro, Pitaro, etc., they probably aren't really being considered because that would not be a hard or long time in coming, if you know what I mean. They shouldn't. They're there, they know their jobs, hopefully. And I mean, you know, so I think it's probably going to be someone from the outside, but I don't know. It's definitely not going to be the commissioner of the NBA. That was last year, remember? The guy who looked like a supersized version of Barlow in Nosferatu. He runs the NBA. They interviewed him and went, okay, so no, not that. So we've got all that going on. And what does it mean going forward? Well, the fact of the matter is, obviously changes are now real. What does it mean for Marvel, for Disney Animation, for all Disney Studios, for Fox, Searchlight? Hi, Baz, how you doing? And for Lucasfilm. Well, last week we found out that the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which had really been the left's solace in getting activist bullshit pushed until it goes to the Supreme Court where they would cut it out. Basically, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals bitch slapped Disney's lawyers and Dan Petrocelli, who is Disney's lawyer in this, and said, no, the case is going forward. So discovery will happen. A trial date for next year sometime. Now, Sparrow came out and said, John is filming Mando and Grogu. Thank you, Baz. Hi, Perry. John is filming Mando and Grogu. Okay. But he's leaving scenes unfilmed. They're working around those scenes. And that's what a lot of times directors and producers will do to accommodate an actor's schedule. I think he's probably leaving it open, and this is Sparrow speculation, for Jaina to come back, because there was a rumor about Favreau having conversations about coming to terms with Gina so she could come back with Iger, which I think Iger's a wise enough man to understand that's probably a good idea, right? What happened to her, it's happened to me right now in my family. You aren't allowed to say anything that they disagree with. If you do, they will try to put you through a struggle session, and then they will cancel you. Okay, and they canceled Gina by taking her job. And, which is illegal. So it's like, really, guys, can't do that, but okay. And so now we're heading into discovery. Now, a wise person would think, I really don't think that Disney wants to have this come out, because I'm pretty sure that when the five horsemen, the Nazgul, were running around Lucasfilm in San Francisco, that they had sufficient time to get all the email. That is now evidence for this trial. And it's enough to embarrass Lucasfilm, of course, because Kennedy, but also Disney because they let it happen. The fact that Gina wants to call Bob Chapek, she wants Jon Favreau, who I think will be a friendly witness to her, to testify. Kathleen Kennedy will be called. I mean, look, if I didn't care so much about getting past Kennedy, that I would love to see her try to testify her way out of this shit, I would probably say, by all means, let's go into discovery, let's go to trial. And it's really interesting how you feel about that, because the dark side on the left side is going, yes, let's humiliate her. But this side, the angel, the practical one, is going, well, what's more embarrassing, going up and having to testify that you were basically an unprofessional mean girl and basically did something that violated another person's constitutional rights over politics? Or would it be still having your name on the door as president of Lucasfilm and watching Gina Carano, whom you tried to cancel, flounce her way across the threshold and back into Cara Dune's costume? I think Gina Carano showing up to play that role again and staking her claim would be a hell of a lot more embarrassing to Kennedy than anything else, okay? Because Kennedy can go up there to testify and she'll look like a fucking idiot, because she is. I mean, I actually, after seeing her, watching some of her interviews again, think she's actually stupider than Kamala Harris. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mike, exactly what I'm saying. So we've got that going on. Okay, so, and we've got 2 weeks, about 31st is a week from tomorrow, so we got a week between now and is there going to be an announcement? The fact that Disney very boldly said today that James Gorman, who again is the former CEO of Merrill fucking Lynch, he is an investment guy, he's a money guy, and he's a very serious guy. He will be the board, the chairman of the board at the Walt Disney Company. That's a big fucking deal, okay? And guys like that are usually very pragmatic, no matter how they vote. In the end, they'll look at their wallets, they look at their investors, and say, okay, we gotta go this way. This is where the money is. That's where we're going. I also want to address, before I address Carrie Fisher's birthday, a thing that one of Cameron's subscribers, Kyle, he's also a subscriber to this channel, talked about. Now, we all know that there's a DEI director at Disney. We know that there's one at Lucasfilm. We know that there's one probably at Sony, at Universal, at we know that there's one, at Warner Brothers, all that. And I did not know this. Now, to preface this with this, the Chinese government, the America's real enemy here, has a social credit system, and you get privileges depending on your score. Now, if you're talking about your opinion, you don't follow the herd, your score is going to be low, and you will be locked out of things. Okay. If your credit score is high, you go on the internet, you do this, you do that, you will be allowed more privileges. Guess what? There's a social DEI credit score for companies. Kyle found it. I did digging, and it is fucking real. And there's a feeling that there's money in that credit score. So the higher it is, the more free money there is, or there used to be. It's not so free anymore because look at the economy. And you start going, okay, so they were being blackmailed. Then you look at, there's another article I found that companies themselves incentivized DEI bullshit. Okay, so, you're making Tales of the Empire, and you've got basically you do one, Morgan Elspeth, then you do another. And the other is you've got a Vadolf Vemler as a Jedi. And then when Barriss Offee is found by the Inquisitor, she decides to completely go gender neutral. That may not be where they wanted to go, but perhaps because they were worried about the LGBTQ club at Disney and others saying we weren't represented and blah, 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 giving them a bad credit score, they put that in there. That is fucking blackmail. Okay, that is fucking blackmail. Okay, that is wrong. That is illegal, for fuck's sake. Now, and I've got my tinfoil hat on now, so just because a lot of stuff that we think was happening in government happened, okay? Like, you know what I'm talking about, okay? What if Disney, after, they demanded Harvey's former personal assistant to actually hand in what she had filmed for The Acolyte. It barely made four episodes, which is what I would have just said, there you go, have fun. We're not going to finish it, for fuck's sake. Oh, that's what I would have done. But they finished it for her. What if that community, with their threatening of lowering the credit score so Disney doesn't get whatever incentives there are, basically said, if you don't finish this, and if you don't air it, we will lower your credit score. That's blackmail again. Now, I could see the British government doing that, and maybe that's what happened. Okay, just something for you guys to ponder. Okay, then, we've got just stupid shit all over the place. The fact of what they did to Gina Carano. Okay, and Kyle asked if Gina comes back, would that cause an uproar with the DEI hires and cause Disney's credit score to crash? Well, again, like Cross said, first off, it's not a viable system in the long run. Second of all, it's illegal, in my opinion. You have the right to go to Rotten Tomatoes, yell and scream, put your comment on, vote thumbs down or whatever, and walk away. Go on X and scream, go on Tumblr and scream, on Threads, on Reddit, whatever. And that's okay. But the idea that a very small minority of people can go on and blackmail a company like Disney to shove their anti-family, anti-American, anti-male, whitey-hating bigotry, anti-heterosexuality of these heterophobic assholes, they can force Disney to embrace their bullshit, to me is wrong. It's blackmail. So that's illegal. But I want you guys to think about that because it's really, that was really eye-opening for me. I did not think that could actually be going on. Anyway, then of course, we've got today, Billie Lourd did a tribute to her mom. I found the tribute that that Baz and I put together. Hi, Mazeres, how are ya? And it's a really great video. I posted it back on X. Maybe we'll install it for today, but I think it's one of the best videos I ever made. It only got like 153 views. So if you see it, you're on X, watch it, leave a comment. I did one for everybody. I did one for Luke. I did one for Han Solo. I did one for the OG. Was gonna do one for Anakin, but really couldn't find a piece of music that made any sense. But anyway, it's Carrie's birthday today. Of course, she was 60 years old when she died. She suffered from manic depression, bipolar disorder. She suffered her whole life from addiction. And she never was shy about telling people. And I think that, excuse me, I think I'm coming down with a cold. Gotta get some soda. I think Carrie's greatest thing was that she made people with her issues not pariahs. She made people feel that they could get help, that they weren't by themselves, and that it wasn't something to be ashamed of. Okay. Carrie, all the things she did, her relationships with Harrison Ford, Dan Aykroyd, Paul Simon, Brian Lord, all of that. The fact that she was such a good writer. The fact that she basically did a lot of the lines for Leia in The Empire Strikes Back. She was brilliant. She was absolutely one of a kind. And, in reading, The Princess Diarist, that if you have her brother Todd's book, and you read it, he tries to act like the affair with Harrison Ford never happened. He said she had a crush, and then it's like she made the whole thing up. Now, if she had made the whole thing up, Harrison Ford probably would have had his people go public and say, no, Carrie, it didn't happen. But he didn't. In fact, when she wrote to him and said, I'm doing this as a book, I found this journal I wrote back then and blah, 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 he would have probably said, he basically said, nothing really negative about it. He just said, just sent back one word, lawyers. He was joking. So, you know, but I think because of who she was, Todd didn't really know his sister very well. And, that, trust me, that happens, okay? And it's not because siblings grow apart, it's that you don't give a lot of yourself to your brothers and sisters as you get older. They don't know you like your husband knows you, your best friend, like your dog or your cat knows you. Okay, they just don't. If you're living in a different town, you live in a different city, you've got a life that's opposite from them. They don't know, and they're not curious about, what you've done, who you know, where you've been. Okay, they're not. And so, I mean, Todd, I think, assumed a lot of stuff about his sister that wasn't true. Okay. Harrison Ford never said anything other than lawyers. And then after she died, he was quoted as saying, "I loved her." Okay, was she the love of his life? I don't know. I mean, Mark Hamill likes to connect his name anytime he can to her. And it's like, Mark, she didn't want to fuck you. Okay, she didn't think of you in that way. Okay. But that's that, be that as it is. Carrie was, like I said, a one of a kind. And she made, I remember when she'd post on Twitter and she'd use emojis and you're like, what is she saying? And just, you're laughing about it. And it's just, she was incredible. And you kind of miss her. Yeah, Carrie had Todd, and then she had two half sisters. So there were two others. And when Carrie's star got made, or when they did her ceremony on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Billie did not let any of her siblings come to the ceremony because they did things she didn't approve of. They lied. They wrote books that Billie was like, and they tried to make money off of Carrie's legacy, and it's like, no. So I don't blame Billie. I too have trouble with siblings, and it is what it is. Okay, people are people. They will let you know who they are. Eventually, they will show you who they are. It's up to you to say yes or no to it. Okay, so there you go. Anyway, I am not going to be able to talk too much longer. I gotta take the dog for a walk, and my voice is like, right now. So, there you go. But I wanted to address the James Gorman thing. Cameron does have a entry in his Patreon. I haven't read it yet. I'm gonna have to. When I was in the car, stuck in traffic, going to see my horse, when my husband sent me a text saying she'd passed. I was really, really devastated. I cried for days. Kay was like, "What is wrong with you?" Because I was like, just pressed my face up against her neck and bawled. So so I talked about Gorman. I think it's a good move by Disney. He's a serious guy. I don't think any of the insiders at Disney now, except for maybe the one they didn't mention, Alan Bergman, are probably in the running anymore. I just don't see Dana Walden being the wise choice. And, you know, the Gina Carano trial, it goes on. And, you know, they're moving ahead with the depositions for the Karen McCarthy thing. You know, Leslie Adland had to go through a deposition. And I hope Karen's lawyers ripped her a new one. And when she gets up there on the stand, I hope they devastate her. Anyway, and then we got Carrie's birthday. So if you're on X and you see that video, please pass it around. It was probably one of my best efforts. So I gotta take the dog for a walk, and I'll probably make chicken soup for dinner because I don't know what's going on. Ears are plugged up. I've been sneezing and I think I'm getting laryngitis. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. See you around the galaxy.